Hello and welcome to How Dave Brown Gets Down. On today's show we're going to be making a wine rack. Holds bottles, holds glasses. It's going to cost you about 10 to 15 bucks at any local hardware store. For full tool and material list, look at the description below and we'll get started. For this project today you're going to need two 6-foot fence boards, some mounting hardware, and 20 to 25 wood screws. For today's project you're going to need a tape measure and a speed square, impact drill, standard drill, 9/16 spade bit, 1/8 inch pilot bit, brad nailer, jigsaw, and a skill saw. So we're going to start with our cut list. You want to get your 24-inch lengths going first. So pull with your tape measure 24, mark that, use your speed square, draw you a straight line, and then you're going to take your skill saw, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to line up the saw with the line. You get your sight ready, so we look good right there, and then you're going to want to put your speed square right against the saw so you get a straight line. So just let the material fall off the table, it's going to be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these cuts up on the miter saw. It's a little quicker and easier than using the skill saw and speed square. So just go ahead and pull your 24 again, mark that out. That. Go ahead and cut it. So now we're going to make the 5 3/4 by 5 1/2 inch pieces, and you want to start with cutting one side. Make sure it's square. Okay, and then you're going to pull your number. So we're going to start with the 5 3/4. I'm going to mark that out. Make sure you're on the line perfectly. Set it aside, and you're going to need 2 for this, so you're going to make it another one. And then you're going to want to line these up, just make sure they're good. That's good. So now just stack them together, make sure they're perfect, and then you're going to pull your 5 1/2. So you're going to do this here. I'm going to flip them. Be sure you know what side of the line you're going to cut on so you don't cut them short, because these are exact numbers. So make sure everything's good. So what you're doing is you're gang cutting these so they're exactly the same block. So we'll go ahead and cut. So now you have 2 identical blocks. So now that we got our lengths cut down to 24, we're going to go ahead and rip these down to the appropriate sizes. So I'm going to start with the 4 3/4. Go ahead and measure that out. And then just grab any straight edge, whatever works for you. I'm going to use a 4-foot level. Just put that on there. Draw the line. And then now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put the material on the side. You're going to take your skill saw and you're going to want to rip off the piece, leaving the line. The line's going to give you the exact measurement you need to keep. So now just go ahead and rip it. Once again, just let your material fall off the table. It's not going to hurt nothing. Alright, now we got our pieces. So now that we have the lengths and widths cut down to what we need them to be, we're going to take the 4 3/4 piece, and that's going to be our bottom. The bottom's where the glasses are going to be hanging from. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to measure up 3 inches from the face of the material, and then evenly space them out. In this case I have 4. So now, after you do that, you're going to take it over. You could, I clamp it, you don't need to, but it just makes it easier to do. So you go ahead and clamp it down. We'll edit all that out. So now you're going to take your standard drill and you're gonna put the 9/16 spade bit in there. What you're gonna do is you're gonna make the first hole, right? So go ahead and drill those out. So now we're going to cut the notches out with the jigsaw. Now another way to do this is just like with the skill saw before, you can use the speed square and just make sure that line's perfectly straight. Now that you have all your notches cut, you want to take one of your wine glasses and just see if it's going to fit. So you just slide it in there. In this case, it's a little high. You only have about an inch of room to play with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tapered drill bit and I'm just going to make this hole a little bigger here, just so it recesses down into it. So let's go ahead and give that a try. Perfect. That gives you a little bit more room to play with. So now that we got all of our cut up done, we're ready for assembly. So here we're going to use the brad nailer and we're going to just kind of tack everything together, and then once it's together we'll screw it together just to firm it up. So you're going to want to start with the side and front. So what I've done here is I've drawn a reference line, can't really see it, but on the back I use permanent marker because no one's going to see it. So that gives you the reference guide to shoot through, so you don't, as we call, shine them. So you're going to want to take this, place it on there ever so gently, and put one tack in there. And then just kind of see where you're at. If you're on the line, if you're going good. Looks like we're going good. And get it up there. Put another brad in there. Put another couple more just for fun. So now you have your basic shelf. This is where your wine bottles are going to go. So now that we got the shelf nailed on here, you're going to want to take the faceplate and nail that one on there. Just get it nice and straight on there. Put a couple brads in. Now you're just making sure everything's in its place. So now we're going to do the bottom. So you're going to flip this guy over, and then you're going to put this underneath and just follow your guidelines and just tack it in. And then there's your basic shape. So now you're going to take the sides. The sides are what's going to square everything together. So you're going to take this and you're going to go flush with the back, flush with the bottom, flush with the face. So it pulls everything square. Because remember, we cut this to be square. So let's go ahead and nail that on. Just try not to nail your finger. I haven't done that. So there's one side. Flip it around, take the piece, bring it in, repeat process. And there's pretty much the product. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the screws and we're going to attach everything to make it nice and solid. So now that we got everything bradded together, everything's nice and good, it's square where we want it, we're going to go ahead and screw it down with some of these wood screws. I use black, it just kind of adds a little to it. So just take your impact drill and screw that baby in there. So once you have all the screws put in, you can go ahead and put the mounting hardware on. You might want to get a little more heavier duty one for this, just because it's wine and it's glass bottles and glass cups and whatnot. So you kind of just want to get those there. Take your tape measure and let's say we go 2 inches in. Sounds good. Measure that out. So now you're gonna center that up, line it up with that, and screw it down. So now that we got everything screwed together, the back, the sides, got the mounting hardware on there, it's looking pretty good. Let's hang it up and see how it looks. Pretty solid. Like it? Let's hang some stuff on it. Just see. Put a couple wine bottles for the sake of argument. There you have it, folks. A simple wine rack. Holds bottles, holds glasses, costs about 10 to 15 bucks in material. Any local hardware store. Not too bad. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to see more videos. Got any suggestions? Leave them in the comment box. Until next time, that's how Dave Brown gets down.